What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all enjoying your Tuesday afternoon so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm just going to give a quick recap on last night's Mets victory that they had against the Los Angeles Dodgers by the final score of 8-6, and how the New York Mets performed yesterday overall, and why this Mets team is starting to round into form early, and they're starting to put together a nice little streak to give themselves a good start to the beginning of this baseball season. Now I'm going to start with the pitching immediately because David Peterson, for the most part, was not good. David Peterson did not have a good pitching game yesterday, where in 6 innings he gave up 7 hits and 6 earned runs, with striking out 6, and he gave up 3 home runs to Freddie Freeman twice, and he also gave up a home run to Max Muncy. So while he did go at least 6 innings, it was not a quality pitching day at all for David Peterson. And obviously it's a concern because the starting pitching staff continues to be an issue for the New York Mets. But at the same time, the bats were the ones that really got it going for this team. And a lot of it had to do for the guy that finally woke up for this team and gave them a big hit that they needed in last night's game. And that was Daniel Vogelbach, who finally got on the board with a big-time hit at the DH position in the 2nd inning, where he smashed a 3-run home run over the fence last night against May, and he was able to give the New York Mets an early 2-1 lead. Vogelbach ended up having 3 RBIs on the night, as he also grounded out to second base, which scored Pete Alonso back in the 4th inning. So he was able to at least have a nice little at-bats there and get 3 RBIs yesterday. Jeff McNeil, his back woke up a little bit for the first time this season, where he had 3 hits last night. Typical Jeff, that's a Jeff McNeil type performance, where he had 3 hits last night. Brandon Nimmo, who is lighting it up now with his bat overall, he had another double last night. He had 3 hits. His batting average is now back over 300. Pete Alonso, he had an RBI last night, his 15th so far this season. Even young Brett Beatty got his first RBI of this season when he hit himself a single all the way back in the 5th inning, in the 4th inning, where he was able to drive in a run, and he actually gave the Mets a 5-3 lead, where he's able to hit a single to right field and drive in Jeff McNeil in the bottom of the 5th, or the top of the 5th. So the Mets bats were able to get it going overall too, and even Francisco Lindor got an RBI on a ground out to first, which scored Brandon Nimmo from 3rd. And this Mets team is now slowly starting to get themselves some momentum in this team. They've won 5 in a row now. 3 straight over. They won that game against the Padres, that last game at home against the San Diego Padres last week. Then they won 3 straight games against the Oakland Athletics, and now they've won their first game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So now the Mets, right now, they are 11-6 on the season. The bullpen once again went 3 innings without giving up a run. Brooks Raley went 1 2/3 innings, striking out 2 and giving up 2 hits, but no runs. Drew Smith came in as the setup man, and he was able to go 1/3 of an inning with only striking out 1 without walking or giving up a hit. And then Adam Ottavino, who took over for David Robertson at the closing position, he went 1 full inning and took care of the side to preserve the victory for the New York Mets in the bottom of the 9th. And the Mets are now 11-6, and they are starting to put together some momentum in that National League East. So This is a good thing for the Mets that they're starting to put together some momentum right now in this conference. Though at the moment, they still trail the Braves by 2 games. The Braves are off to a red-hot start right now. They're 13-4. Mets are in 2nd place in the division right now at 11-6. Right behind them is the Miami Marlins, who are 9-8. Philadelphia Phillies are off to a disastrous start. They're 6-10. And obviously the Washington Nationals, who we know are not going to be a good baseball team this year. They're right now 5-11. But the Mets continue to have good pitching, good hitting right now. The Mets lineup is starting to get a little bit of a kick right now. Still getting absolutely nothing from that catching position, though. I mean, they're getting absolutely nothing, whether it's Tomas Nido, who did have a hit yesterday, but hasn't really done much at the plate. Francisco Alvarez, since he got called up, has done nothing for this team offensively. He's pretty much been in a timeshare right now with Nido. Vogelbach at least got that home run in the second inning, where he's at least able to get some type of contribution. McNeil had his best game of the season so far, getting 3 hits and collecting an RBI last night. Brandon Nimmo is really heating up. Alonso also had 3 hits last night. I mean, if you think about it, between Nimmo, Alonso, and McNeil, they had 9 of the 14 hits for the New York Mets last night at the plate. That is encouraging right there, that arguably your 3 best hitters on the team, as well as Francisco Lindor, all had 9 hits, and each of them had 3 hits last night. When you get 3 hits each from Nimmo, Alonso, and McNeil, you are in good shape. Starling Marte, I wish would get it going a little bit more. He did have a hit last night in 5 at-bats, but I wish he can get it going a little bit more. Mark Hanna had a hit, but he's still batting below the Mendoza line, or he's batting below 200 right now at 196. I mean, Vogelbach just hit 200 yesterday with that 2-run home run he had yesterday. Beatty, give him as much time as he needs at that third base position. I would put Francisco Alvarez out there at catcher and just let him go out there and play. But good win by the New York Mets yesterday. Love to see that these bats are starting to wake up slowly, especially from your top players. Like I said, I smile when I see Nimmo, Alonso, and McNeil doing as well as they are at the plate right now. Alonso's batting .292. Nimmo, who was just batting about .200 last week, he's all the way back above .300 now. And McNeil having a 3-hit game. That is probably the best sign you could see, because McNeil is a hitting machine, and when he can start getting that bat going, which he might be doing after last night, that is a strong sign for this New York Mets team going into next game tonight against the Dodgers. And I believe Tylor Megill is going to be on the mound for the team today. And obviously because Scherzer is going to be pitching tomorrow after he had his start pushed back this past Sunday, and instead Jose Budo took over. So just wanted to give you guys that game recap. The New York Mets win late last night in LA against the Dodgers by the final score of 8-6. They have won 5 in a row now, and they get ready for tonight's game late tonight at 10:10, where they're going to be taking on the Dodgers with Tylor Megill on the mound, looking to win their 6 straight games. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and give a sub to NYG Jeffy T85 for more news, updates, chatter, and game recaps surrounding the New York Mets. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Mets. And you guys let me know in the comments section what you thought about last night's New York Mets victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers by the final score of 8-6, and your state of the New York Mets as they get ready for their second of 3 games tonight against the Dodgers in LA at 10:15. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Mets as always. All you got to do is you got to believe in those boys from Queens.